Can it be your faith in? Can it be your faith? Can it be your faith in? Can it be your faith in?
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, it's the Don, it's the Godfather, it's the future Hall of Famer, JD Legend, back again, not JD Mute. We're back again on this glorious day on the official release of One Piece Chapter 1017. And yes, guys, we just got a lot. There's a lot to talk about. There's been some crazy theories that have come up from the latest chapter of One Piece. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Obviously, we're going to talk about a few things that I've thought about that kind of made me want to switch things up a little. That's why we got the peak coat on right now, looking like Ghost and Power, you know what I'm saying? I like the peak coat, you know what I'm saying? Feel real fresh and crisp. But I love peak coats. I do. It's summertime, so we can't really wear it. But wintertime, I'll be wearing this a lot. So what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Listen, can we get a press conference introduction? We can't. I will save it for another chapter. I decided against it, Jacko. I did. Carter Sand with the 5 gifted subs. First of all, brother Carter, the shadow sponsor. God bless you. Thank you for supporting this channel so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, what's up, everybody? How did you guys enjoy the chapter? Hopefully you read support the official release, of course. Obviously we also had the Chainsaw Man trailer that came out as well, so that's really nice. Like it's ridiculous, you know, what we're seeing. You know, I think we're on the cusp of seeing something bigger than Kaisen and something that may even be bigger than Demon Slayer. So I'm kind of just excited. I'm just excited in general for Chainsaw Man. One Piece is hot right now, and there's just a lot. I'm telling you, there's something that came to my mind that's a little crazy, you know, and I don't know, man. This is ideas. YouTube is fun right now with everything that we're getting. So I'm just excited. I'm really excited. And obviously, if you guys missed the Mugen stream yesterday, I feel bad for y'all. I do. That Mugen stream was next level. I can't believe you missed Mugen, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know. I know. Said the E40 Pico, I'm crying. E40. He said, we pirates? We are pirates. We are. Ben Simmons stand? Oh, nah, Tone. Nah. Absolutely not. I am not wearing a suit. I hope everyone understands this. This is a peacoat, not a suit. We always like to dress to impress. Chainsaw Man will break the yeah, masochist betas. Jesus. Oh, Kaido's legs is broke. It's about time, nigga. You've been having too much money. He had 250K and he's lost it all. You love to see it. You've been too rich. Roger's Base mentioned and loved your Jaya video. Really? Wow, shout out to Big Raj. Shout out. I love that. I really do. That's awesome. He said I appreciate that. Someone definitely tell Roger I'll say thank you about that, and God bless him. God bless him. Because we're gonna have Roger on the JD Legend show anyway. It's gonna happen. So that collab will happen in the future. But God bless Roger. Shout out to the king of One Piece YouTube. The king. But now, I mean, there's a lot to talk about today. You know, we got topics on the secret of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, Shanks, a theory about Shanks, which ties into my last video, which is going to be very interesting, and an Sanji video. Of course, it's a Sanji video, but it's something that's going to be interesting, and the title itself will probably shock and bother you based on my rhetoric and my agenda. I don't know if you guys are ready for it, but there's a lot I want to talk about today. But before we get started, one, is there any questions? You have any questions about the chapter? I will avoid questions that tie into the topics I'll be going over today. So for now, what's the questions? How are you guys feeling? What did you rate the chapter, first of all? And also see it's 1-0 to the Czechs, so you hate to see it. I saw Delict got sent off. What a disgrace to the country. You hate to see it. What if Luffy Joy Boy is a time traveler and that Roger assigned Shanks the task of finding his fruit and making him eat it? Very interesting. It'd be very, very interesting. So we see 9s, 10s. Jackal gave it a 7. In Jackal terms, that's probably a 9. ZKK, okay, 8s. I'm seeing a lot of 8s and 9s. I guess the average would be like 8.5 from what I'm seeing. I gave the chapter, I think I gave the chapter an 8. I think I gave the chapter around an 8, 8.5. The last pages were excellent, but it did drag on just a little bit. But, you know, we got a lot of useful information. So I wouldn't say this is like a knockout of the park chapter, but it's something that's very, very like, it's one of those chapters where if it wasn't for the end, it would probably be a solid 7 or 6.5. That's what I would say. And I mean, One Piece is like that normally. You can't have, you know, 10-10s. You can't just have info dumps and bombs all the time. You need to have some consistency and some rhythm. So I think this was more of a rhythm chapter with Oden, and he gave us a little treat. So I think that was awesome as well. Thanks, I appreciate the compliments on the jacket. I'm not on the toilet, don't listen to him. Need Otama to go? Well, it's interesting, right? So this is not going to be involved in my video, so I can talk about this in my topics. Otama, the reason I'm fine with what Otama's doing is even though she is a plot device for what's happening, Oda's used Tama to enable everyone to get 1v1s within a war. And I really, really like that because now we're about to get all the 1v1s we've been looking for. You wondered why Jinbei Robin, Frankie, their fights were getting off-screened. Why? Because they were fighting amidst a bunch of soldiers as well, so they had to deal with all the interruptions. Nobody wants to see that. So that's why Oda off-screened all these exchanges. But now that Tama is here, now it's 1v1. Now you see who's who. Now you see the Rokushiki techniques. Now you see who's who in the Viz translation saying, I guess I need to try now. So now we have Frankie versus Sasuke is about to happen. We're about to see Robin and Black Maria. We're about to see Zoro, maybe Zoro versus King. Maybe Zoro goes back up to the rooftop. So Tama's interference, very important. Very necessary. It's needed as long as it, and Brook as well, as long as it stays where it's at. And Oda doesn't go too crazy, which I think it's only going to be, I think the Kibi Dongos is only for the headliners. So I think we're okay. I actually think we're just fine. So we're good. We're good. Legendary, hey, I love your NBA reaction videos. Hey, man, I appreciate that. You know I love media. You know I love me some NBA. Are y'all happy with Nami's Mickey Mouse victory? I'm actually not happy with it. And I understand why people are annoyed. And because a lot of us wanted more from Nami. I think we just wanted to see more of Nami's creativity because we know Nami's creativity can go off the charts. She's pretty tactical. She's very smart. Arguably, her fighting style is very similar to Sanji's in the fact that they're both very tactical fighters. And I like it. But in this case, Oda was like, here, have a magic stick. Oh, Ulti's been shot 2,000 times and hit by Big Mom. Get the final hit. Yay, Nami won. That's not satisfying. Unfortunately, it's not satisfying. Unfortunately. Someone else asked me a question. Dom, what do you think about who's who getting locked up for the fruit, but Lucci and Kaku getting promoted after what happened with Robin? I'm actually going to cover that, Dom. I'm going to cover that. Don't worry. Rob Lucci confirmed weak. No, actually, you're wrong. I actually think you're wrong. They said that he would rival Rob Lucci. He would rival Rob Lucci, but he's also not under the tutelage and the training that they get exposed to as a CP0 agent. Rob Lucci, matter of fact, this is proof that Rob Lucci is bare minimum as strong as Jinbei. Bare minimum. When people were slandering me for saying that Rob Lucci was minimum first commander level, second commander, depending on how strong you think Jinbei is, that's the start of how strong Lucci is. That's the start. So Lucci, my Lucci agenda was confirmed. I hope y'all understand that now. No more Lucci slander. Lucci should always be in the top 30 from this point on. Should always be in the top 30 from this point on. Rob Lucci is minimum first commander level, dying on the hill. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Not having it. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Rob Lucci is a genius. They called him a genius for a reason. So if we're talking about trajectories, if we're talking about Luffy's trajectory, Kobe's trajectory to grow at a rapid rate, we need to apply the same thing to Rob Lucci. He's a prodigy. He grows at a rapid rate just like Luffy. So why wouldn't Lucci be that strong? Why? Someone explain to me why. I think Crocodile's very underrated as well. To me, Crocodile's minimum second commander level. I think Crocodile's very underrated. I feel like there's more agenda with the crocodile thing, but he did parry Mihawk. That's all I'm saying. You know, and he fought Bullet to a standstill. I don't care if it's canon. I'm just going to say it for my agenda. It doesn't really matter if it's real or not. He fought Bullet to a standstill. I mean, come on. Come on. Bullet, standstill. Come on. Like, what are we talking about here? Luffy got beat into a coma. Chill out, Jay. Really? Come on. Really? Redley said most people are complacent. Lucci's not complacent. Lucci's not complacent. The cover story was training arcs for Kaku and Lucci. He's not stagnating. He's growing. Where does this complacency come from? Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Rob Lucci's strong. I don't want this no more. I don't want this slander. I don't want this cap. I don't want none of that. Enough. All right? Enough. Usually when people that are less important in the series say they are as good as someone, they never are as good as them. Lucci is strong as Sabo. Spit, Shark Beat, spit. Exactly. We know he's not on Lucci's level. He said, oh yeah, man, I had this lore. I was as strong as Lucci. Come on. Lucci's strong as hell. First commander level minimum. I'm telling you, don't sleep on Lucci no more. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And not to mention his skill as a fighter. Come on, bro. Come on. I'm telling you right now, Lucci still beats Sanji right now. I still think Lucci still beats Sanji. And I love Sanji. I still think Lucci beats Sanji. Still. Lucci's his smelly booty hole. I'd rather you say Don Krieg. Don Krieg is Yonko level, first of all. Let's get that straight. Don Krieg is Yonko level. You should have known that. You see that gold armor? Is it right? Now with the raid suit, maybe we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how strong Sanji will be with the raid suit. We're gonna have to see. He said $1,000 Sanji over Lucci. That's an interesting debate. I might ask. That might be a question I ask the TO after the show. That's something I'm very curious. I want to see what people think. So put $4,000. This is very interesting. There's a lot of Lucci doubters. I'm very surprised by this. Don Krieg is Joy Boy. What if Don Krieg was Joy Boy? You see Don Krieg with a straw hat, bro. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Jay, run the poll. Run the poll. We gonna run the poll here? We can run a poll real. You know what? Let's run a poll. Before we start the topic, let's run a poll. It's a stream, right? This is what we do. I am not drunk if I think Lucci's beating Sanji. I think you're heavily underestimating Lucci. I don't know what y'all seeing. I just don't know. I'm starting this poll right now. Y'all got a minute. Y'all got a minute. And I'll pick. Hold on. Pick Lucci real quick. Vote. Boom. What's up? I am not on one. I am not. I refuse. Current Lucci. He said this is a different type of high. Y'all disrespectful. Sanji pressed him in Stampede. Okay. Someone said, why is Lucci getting so hype? Why shouldn't Lucci get hype? He's a genius. Oh man, I can't believe what I'm seeing today. I just can't. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And everybody is picking Sanji. Yo. Oh, which has a better hybrid, Neko hybrid form or Lucci? Well, okay. I'm always gonna take Rob Lucci's because I love leopards in general. They're my favorite animal, so it's default Lucci, unfortunately. But who's is raw as well. Sanji's commander level without the raid suit. I'd agree with that, but I just don't think Sanji's beating Lucci. You need to go to church, sir. I came from church. I go to church every Sunday. What about you, brother? Are you in the pews with the Lord? Where's your Bible, King? Huh? Did you pray today, brother? Huh? Did you tell the Lord of your good deeds today, King? Brother? Huh? How do I vote for Sage King? We not vote for Sage King. As you should pray. As you should. Man of God. Anywho, we're getting a little distracted. You miss Rebecca. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, he said you miss Rebecca. I'm like, sir, what do you mean by that? I'd like an answer, actually. What do you mean by that? Legendary anime JP fan. You just say clarify. Immediately, yo. Oh, man. 2-0. Oh, man. Netherlands are a disgrace. You hate to see it. Netherlands are an absolute disgrace. Don't want to spam, but JD, how would you feel if Kid's crew helped out against Ulti instead of Big Mom causing massive damage? I feel like Kid doesn't need help. Oh, Kid's crew? He's talking about like Heat and Wire? It would be nice to just see Heat and Wire. I think it would just be nice to see him. So, sure, I would have taken that over Big Mom. I don't know how much they would have done, but it would have been nice. I would have been okay with that. You know what I'm saying? It would have been nice. All right, but without further ado, let's get to the topics. All right? So this is an interesting concept. This is interesting, okay? So it seems to be that the Gomu Gomu no Mi is more than we thought. It seemed to be just a regular fruit that Shanks had in a treasure chest on their random adventures off to the sea, and we really didn't know where it came from. It was our first introduction to devil fruits anyway. So we didn't know anything. We didn't know anything about this fruit, and at first glance, it seems like a normal, it's not a special fruit. You just turn into rubber, and you can stretch around, and you kind of have to be creative with the fruit. So no one really took it as seriously as we do now, due to the latest reveal that we got, that the fruit had been stolen. Now, there's something I want us to focus on here, because there's a precedent of fruits being stolen. There's a precedent of the Marines / the world government being interested in specific devil fruits. So the real question I want to ask you guys is, why is the Gomu Gomu no Mi so important that it would cause someone like Who's Who to be imprisoned for making a mistake and having it stolen? Why? There's importance to it. Now, we have precedent for this. So let's go back to Dressrosa and let's talk about the Opi Opi no Mi. Now, with the Opi Opi no Mi, the Marines wanted this fruit. They were willing to pay 5 billion berries for this fruit. That's a higher bounty. That's higher than Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks, and Whitebeard's bounties. That's insane. But the reason is because there's great importance to it. It's said that in the past, there was a doctor who used the Opi Opi no Mi and performed numerous miracles and great surgeries of multiple kinds. And there's also something special about this fruit that Doflamingo knew, and I would be very shocked if the Marines didn't know. Now, I think it's very important to mention, the Marines were the ones who wanted this fruit. At least that's what was mentioned. It was the Marines. So, we know for a fact that with this fruit, you can perform the eternal youth surgery, sacrifice your life for the sake of someone who wants to be, eternally youthful. That was why that fruit was so sought after. That's why Doflamingo intercepted that deal, because it was going to be sold by a pirate to the Marines, because they brokered it. The pirate himself actually didn't know how great the fruit was. He just thought, oh yeah, man, that's a lot of money. I'll take that. So it seems to be, as long as there's knowledge there, the Marines will go out of their way to transport these devil fruits back and forth throughout what means. So the key here is the importance of the fruit and what it can mean. And also think about the entity themselves. If it's the Marines, they're probably going to try and use it for, give it to Vegapunk or give it to one of their scientists. Something to really help out the Marines and their cause and the way they can protect the world. Now, with the Gomu Gomu no Mi, there's a few differences. One, the fruit was already in the hands of the world government. It was stolen. Two, it wasn't the Marines. It was the government. It was a government ship, which means the implications of this fruit has potential to shake the balance of the world, because the world government is focused on keeping the balance, keeping everything the way it is. And if it took Shanks and Lucky Roo, who most likely stole it, to take it from them. One, why did Shanks steal it? I'll get to that later. But what's important here is that the world government wanted this fruit, and they specifically tasked a CP9 agent who is said to rival Rob Lucci to guard it. That's something that's extremely important. So why? Why would they go to these lengths? What is it about this fruit that would make them want to do all this, transport it with a government ship, have a CP9 agent guard it as well, unless there's something that implies that it either has something to do with the balance of the world, or there's a few possibilities that could also happen. One, it could be something tied to Joy Boy. That's what a lot of people are saying. It could be Roger's old fruit. It could be something that is tied to its innate abilities. And this is why I was talking about the Opi Opi no Mi. The Opi Opi no Mi has something very special about it that can be performed. So what if that's the same with the Gum Gum fruit? What if there's something involved with the awakening that the government don't want falling into enemy hands? That could be the case as well. Now, what could these special properties be? Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is a theory video, but this one, I'm racking my brain here. Like, what could be within that awakening to cause such mass concern? But I think the point is that the fruit itself now has so much more meaning than what it had before. Now, I would say this. It makes the most sense that the fruit could be part of a prophecy. There could be a prophecy that says, say, the boy who eats the Gum Gum fruit or the man made of rubber did such and such, and it led to the imbalance of the world. It led to a prophecy of Joy Boy being fulfilled. There's a lot of things that could come from the prophecy, but I actually think it might be a prophecy thing. You know, with poneglyphs, they have prophecies written on poneglyphs and all kinds of things like that. So it could be a prophecy thing. And if it is, then people are starting to get concerned. Oh boy, Luffy's tied to fate, destiny. No, we can't have this anymore. Now, guys, I want you guys to understand something, and this is really important. Me and Ohara talked about this on the Luffy Cannot Be Joy Boy video, where Ohara went into depth about how destiny isn't really that bad of a thing. It's actually normal. Inherited will is almost the same thing as destiny. Ace inherited the will of Roger. Luffy inherited the will of Shanks and Roger. Everybody inherits someone else's dream. Dreams never end. Dreams never die. That's been the theme of One Piece for as long as we can remember. It's not like Naruto. It's not like Ashura and Indra. Settle down. It's not. So I need you guys to calm down. What Oda is doing with this Gum Gum fruit reveal is that it's showing us that Luffy has a lot more ties to his story and outside influences to his stories than we first thought. But Oda has been slowly and intricately building up this inherited will theme, this destiny theme, this fate theme for a while now. It's been around for a long time. Look at Whitebeard's speech. You're not the one Roger is waiting for. I mean, guys, that's one of the greatest speeches we had in One Piece. So fate, themes, destiny has always been here, and it's always going to be a part of Luffy's story. So the sooner we accept it, or the sooner we actually stop being idiots and understanding this has been part of the story for so long, the better we're going to be able to accept this news. This is normal. This is how it should be. So don't get concerned about this. So if the Gomu Gomu no Mi is actually a prophecy, it's a prophecy fruit, we have nothing to be concerned about. Now the question is how is this going to tie into the story? Now, I would be very disappointed if it was Roger's old fruit, just because, one, if it was Roger's old fruit, Whitebeard would have said something. Everyone who Garp would have said something. You wouldn't think Garp would say, nigga, why do you have Roger's fruit? They would have said something about that. So it can't be Garp. It can't be Roger. You got to rule out that possibility now. It absolutely cannot be Roger. Get Roger out. So we're canceling that. That's gone. Xebec, I don't know about Xebec. Because again, Whitebeard would have said something. Garp would have said something. Rocks was secret, so I guess they weren't going to talk about it. But we would have at least had some subtle hints about the fruit. And the only hint we got was from Lucci, where he mentioned, hey, I know an idiot who'd be very interested in meeting you and understanding about you. Because, you know, I remember the streets was talking, bro. You should not have let that Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit go. And the world government wants this fruit for a reason. So I'm telling you right now, just to reaffirm my point, it is Joy Boy. It has to deal with Joy Boy. It has to deal with a prophecy. It's one of those two things to me. And that's really it. An awakening, again, it's like, what could Oda do with a rubber fruit where its awakening is so important that it would cause mass concern about a special ability that it has? Now, if it's the key to beating Kaido, I mean, God, Oda, you better have something planned, something in your bag that's planned, because I don't know where you're going with that one. But I think what's also important as well is you notice that Shanks and Lucky Roo, and I think it was in chapter 1, where they had mentioned that the fruit is missing. He said, oh, the fruit that we stole from the enemy. Shanks' position in this is very interesting. It's very interesting. And I think Shanks' role in this is bigger than we think. I think Shanks' role in this is also tied to the fate of Luffy. But we'll save that for another video. So, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Dripping with that jacket? I'm dripping sweat. That's what I'm dripping. But yes, what are your thoughts on that? You said Shanks wasn't an emperor. Listen, man. He wasn't at that time. Actually, was he? I don't know. Can you guys help me with that timeline? Was Shanks an emperor at that time? Was he? Gum Gum no Mi, Guru Guru no Mi. Shanks was Whitebeard's friend. Shanks steals it. Luffy accidentally eats it. World government wanted it in case Whitebeard wanted to destroy. Ah, now that's interesting. Garp does know about the fruit, though. There's a reason why he hid Luffy with Ace in the mountains in Goa. The fruit is bigger than we think. That's also another good point. He wasn't. Okay, 6 years prior. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. This is why we have historians in the chat. Lord God, I'm sweating. This reveal put a high insight on Momo and Luffy's relationship. I think it did. I think it did as well. Shanks might have just happened to take the fruit. Actually, no, but I'll talk about that in the next topic, Tanuki. Trust me. I'll definitely talk about it in the next topic. Is that a suit coat? No, it's a pea coat. It's a pea coat. What if Ace's mother was the previous owner of the Gomu Gomu no Mi? And you're saying what? That she like expanded her womb in order to keep Ace safe? Is that where you're going, Dale? Is that where we're going? Definitely holding on to the Zebek fruit agenda. He could have attained some level of power that Garp and Whitebeard wouldn't have wanted Luffy to awaken. Okay, maybe. If the Gomu Gomu no Mi was Zebek's devil fruit, Big Mom and Kaido would have definitely said something by now. I agree with that. Which is why it also can't be Roger's fruit either. This is why I think it has to tie with Joy Boy, or it has to be a prophecy. He said, I think it's more related to the counter of the Quake Quake fruit, meaning that this could be set up. Ah, Fracos, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I like that. I like that idea, Fracos. I really do. I really do. You said you like the theory that was mistaken for the Yami Yami no Mi? Maybe. But then again, why would the world government be so bothered that someone took it if they knew it was the Gomu Gomu no Mi? Jay, I told you rubber can counter the quakes 5 years ago. Nigga, I didn't know you 5 years ago. I wasn't even a YouTuber 5 years ago. What are you talking about, Wing? Why? Why would you lie to the streets like this? Why? When a D dies, they become the devil fruit, become a devil fruit, and Luffy's devil fruit is Roger? Maybe. That would be interesting. But then again, Whitebeard is still here. Whitebeard is still here. Whitebeard's body was still there. So no. Unfortunately. I like the idea, but no. No. The one that makes the most sense is based on what we have is the fruit's value as a potential counter to Whitebeard. Shanks wasn't an emperor yet, so he would have been interested in it. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm glad you guys said that, because that's not something I thought about. That's very interesting. That's actually a very interesting take. I like that a lot. Do you think Blackbeard knows the specialness of the Gum Gum fruit? I'm gonna say no, actually. I'm gonna say no. Although, if my theory about Zebek inhabiting Blackbeard is true, he probably read about it in that Devil Fruit book, and Zebek could have told him. So it's possible, actually. I would give it a 50-50 chance. What do you think the point of Kinemon's death was? Kaido went immediately back upstairs. If bro really that's the foulest death scene in the series, yeah. I think the point of it is really to highlight the stakes of Wano and the fact that they're willing to sacrifice their life to keep Momonosuke alive, because at the end of the day, that was Oden's will as well. No matter what happens, we have to keep Momo alive. Whatever happens, we need to greet Joy Boy for whatever reason. Something has to happen. If Who's Who thought the fruit was the Yami Yami no Mi, then why was Who's Who? That's what I'm saying. It's not. I refuse. I'd say Teach knows 60%. He's one of the most knowledgeable people about devil fruits in the world. I agree with that. Jacko. Imagine Vegapunk could clone the Gomu Gomu no Mi. You would get an army of physically immune soldiers, swords plus, probably. Okay. That's the thing as well. He did his research on the Yami Yami. His whole plan was to become a Shichibukai just to get to Impel Down, etc. No, I agree with that. That wasn't That's the one thing I was concerned about. That's the one thing I was concerned about. Because I thought he was blacked out. If Kinemon was turned into a clone by the ink of Kanjuro before he died, I'd be very upset about it. I wouldn't be happy. I'd be very, very, very frustrated. I'd be furious, actually. It would leave me with pain. I'd be angry. I'd have a lot of deceit, and I'd be a bitter man. I'm completely okay with the prophecy outside of the fruit, but I feel like having the fruit being part of it too is kind of BS because of how late it's being established to us readers. It's more like a hot take, and I'm open to change my mind. That's a good point. That is a good point. I can see that because again, but then again, we also got the two sovereignties prophecy late as well. Matter of fact, the prophecies that we're getting now has been slowly coming up more and more. It wouldn't be surprising if the two sovereignties, maybe there's more to that sovereignties prophecy. Maybe one of the sovereignties is a boy made of rubber that, Madame Charlie would think about later. Not related to the Gum Gum theory, but what do you think about King breaking out Who's Who from prison for some reason regarding the theories that King was an Impel Down warden guard? Matt EWI. That's very interesting. Matinee. I guess it's matinee. Either way, that's very interesting. That's a very interesting theory. Because remember, I think didn't Who's Who want to fight King anyway? Didn't he want to kill King anyway? They have beef already. So that's very interesting. What if Kinemon's awakening turned himself into clothes to dodge the attack? That would be disgusting, and I'd hate it. I don't say I don't like the Scabbards, I just don't care for them. I don't really care for the Scabbards. The only Scabbard I care for was Ashura Doji, and he's allegedly dead, so your boy's kind of sad at the moment, but it is what it is. King definitely seems like he's related to Impel Down. It's about time we get more on prophecies. This arc is meant to be revealing end of series stuff. Since we're at the end of second to last saga. Yes, I agree with that. That's true. That's also true, Tanuki. That's also true. And we still don't know King's race. Yeah, there's a lot to learn from Wano. There's a lot, and I'm actually kind of happy about it. Wano's been very good for info dump purposes. Wano's been very good. Jay, what if the Gomu Gomu no Mi was just a fruit that was supposed to be given to a CP9 member like Kaku? Since Luffy once complimented Luffy's gear second is very comparable to a Orochi Shiki master. Dale, you got a lot of interesting ideas, man. That's an interesting idea. It could be. Queen's hybrid form, your honest thoughts. I'm fine with it. You know, he's a Brachiosaurus, so there's not much Oda can do to try and make a Brachiosaurus in a hybrid form look raw. It's not much he can do in general. So I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, I'll take it. You know, one thing that someone mentioned to me, that it seems like he's taking a lot of inspiration from Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man with the way, you know, his little grappling hooks and the little holes where he's got lasers. He's got Doc Ock in him, and he's a scientist too. So I don't know if Oda's calling that back, but I like it. I'm okay with it. I think Oda is doing the best he can with a Brachiosaurus design in hybrid form. I think that's the best he could do. I don't think he could do any better. The body is weird. The dinosaur itself is weird. We all never really could see it being raw, so I think Oda did great for what he did. I'm okay with it. Brother Fiji, good afternoon. Good afternoon. He's a funky Godzilla. I'm screaming. AJ, did you hear about the theory about Who's Who being a spy for Blackbeard? That would be interesting. That would be interesting. But I would probably say no. I'd probably say no. You as a Zoro stan, I love Zoro, but not calling cap on the Zo healing as well. Shout out to Nessa Cutie. Shout out to Nessa Cutie with the subscription Prime. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So this isn't part of my topics. So I'll talk about the Zoro stuff. Let's talk about the Zoro stuff. We always knew Zoro was gonna come back. Him being out so early when there's still a lot more fighting to be done would be surprising. So Zoro coming back is not surprising. Zoro getting a Senzu Bean virtually, but with negative side effects. Again, this is not the first time we've seen something like this happen. Luffy and Marineford, I mentioned this in the reaction. Luffy and Marineford had to take a hormones or adrenaline injection shot from Ivankov just to continue fighting, with negative side effects. It's been done before. We've seen it before. It doesn't, not to say it's good, but it's happened before. It's not an ass pull. Execution, foreshadowing, all of that. It's been done before. And there's repercussions for it, which is fair. I don't know how Zoro's gonna, deal with the pain afterwards. Believe it or not, it gives me a big vibe of now this is Berserk spoilers. I'm about to say something about Guts. It's Berserk spoilers. I'm going to let you guys know right now because Dritz will literally guillotine me if I spoil you guys. So just give me, I'm going to say it in 5, 4, 3, 2, mute, 1. It reminds me of Guts' Berserker armor, where it'll heal his injury so he can continue fighting. It's like regenerating it. It's keeping his body in form so he can fight to a high capability, but the side effects are terrible. So I'm done. No more. The Berserk spoilers are done. But that's what I get. That's the feeling I get. And Guts and Zoro have a lot of similarities. So I can see that. How do we know when to unmute? You can unmute now. The chat will tell you. Yes, you're safe. You're safe. Tell them they're safe. Someone in the chat tell them they're safe. Oh, anytime. I'll take care of y'all. Yo, brother Jay, do you think the evil Shanks theory is dead after reading? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And you know what? Now that we've asked about the evil Shanks, let's talk about Shanks. Because this is, I know we've all thought it, so I'm not going to act like this is a brand new theory. This is not. But this is an observation, right? This is an observation. So Shanks is a very mysterious character. Shanks is shrouded in mystery. We don't know where he came from. We barely even know what his true intentions are. All we know is that he was on Roger's ship. We know that he is an inspiration to Luffy. You know he held the straw hat, and you know he kind of shows up at the right time, at the right place to say the right things. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So why is Shanks so opportunistic? Why is he always at the right place at the right time? So let's talk about what we just learned from this chapter. Shanks and Lucky Roo, that's what we're assuming, stole the Gomu Gomu no Mi from the world government. Why? I don't think it's a coincidence. The fact that they used the terminology that the world government is the enemy, even though they are the enemy, the fact that it was emphasized is interesting. I think that if you're stealing something from the world government, and Shanks has always been the type to know more than what he lets on, I think we need to think about something for a second. So think about all these things that Shanks is. Shanks is the holder of the infamous straw hat. Shanks was on Roger's crew. Shanks never went to Raftel. Shanks, for some reason, is tied to Xebec and Blackbeard. If you want to know exactly what I think about that, you can go back to my Shanks video where Shanks learned the most dangerous secret in the world. If you want to know more about that, click the video. It'll be here. But Shanks seems to always have a hand in trying to prevent things from happening, right? So, do you remember when Shanks appeared in Marineford? It was very timely. He preserved the era of pirates. He preserved the era and made sure that it continued. He stopped Akainu. He heard Kobe's speech. Blackbeard had to stop. He didn't want to deal with him. He warded Kaido off because if Kaido's presence was in Marineford, it would have been catastrophic. The world probably would have been destroyed. It would have been a terrible event. So Shanks is always a blocker. He's always a preventive force. Shanks went to Whitebeard and said, bro, don't fight Blackbeard. I know about him. He is crazy. There's something about him that you don't know. And if Ace fights him, it's going to be bad because Shanks probably knew. If Ace gets captured, we have a problem. Because you're going to war, the balance of the world is at risk. Shanks is always trying to preserve balance. The dude went up to the Gorosei to warn them about a pirate for the sake of balance, I'm guessing. That's probably why the Gorosei respect him so much. Because he's always focused on balance. Why? Why is Shanks always focused on balance? If you look at his relationship with Luffy and Roger, Shanks inspired Luffy. But Shanks is different from Luffy. Shanks is different from Roger. Shanks is always concerned with the fate and well-being of the world for whatever reason. He's always there. Why? Because Shanks knows something. Now, one would ask, Shanks wasn't at Raftel, so he wouldn't know the true history of the world. But I think one thing that is really important that we need to mention is how willing Rayleigh was to talk about the true history of the world to Robin and Luffy and the Straw Hats. Rayleigh was like, hey, I'll tell you. You want to know? And one could say, okay, maybe it was a test. Maybe Rayleigh wanted to see what Luffy was made of because he took an interest in him. But we know Rayleigh and Shanks have talked before. They talked about the Straw Hat. They talked about him losing his arm. Also, Shanks was also on the ship already. Shanks traveled with them everywhere. So, Rayleigh telling Shanks what they saw on Raftel wouldn't be surprising to me. Shanks probably knows the true history. Shanks probably already knows about Joy Boy. Shanks already knows what happened in the Void Century. And that point is strengthened by the fact that he went up to the Gorosei in the first place. They're like, well, this guy's known for a while. There's nothing to hide, which means Shanks is probably benefiting the Gorosei in a manner where they'll let him do what he wants as long as he continues to do what he's doing. Look at the respect that Sengoku had for Shanks when he stopped Marineford. Shanks has been playing a role as a balancing act for the entire series. Shanks is different than Luffy and Roger. Luffy and Roger care about their own dreams, their ideals. They don't care what it affects. They just do what they want to do. Shanks is different. Shanks is calculated. Shanks tries to prevent catastrophes from happening. Also, another thing that's really interesting. Shanks was there when they saw that final poneglyph at Fishman Island. But now it's gone. Why? Everything that I just mentioned about Shanks always being a preservative, I don't even know if preservative is a word, a preserving force. He's always looking to maintain balance. If someone got their hands on the final poneglyph, that means that someone will learn about the true history of the world. Somebody will go to Raftel. If it goes into the wrong hands, it could be terrible. So the one person who would take that poneglyph and hide it, most likely Elbaf, would be Shanks. So think about it this way. All this information I've mentioned, it ties into my past video as well about the Gomu Gomu no Mi. If Shanks knows about Joy Boy, if Shanks knows about the true history, Shanks would also know about what's so special about this Gomu Gomu no Mi, wouldn't he? A lot of people, now in the last show I had, people were mentioning that it could be a counter to Whitebeard, but I don't think it's that. My whole thoughts is that there's a prophecy tied behind this fruit. It either has something to do with Joy Boy, or it has something to do with an awakening. But let's go with Joy Boy for a second, because this supports my theory and my agenda. If Shanks knows about the prophecy that the user of the Gomu Gomu no Mi will also be Joy Boy, or is tied to Joy Boy, it's tied to the two sovereigns, Shanks would take that fruit for himself to maintain balance and make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. That seems like something Shanks has been doing this entire time. The premise of this video is to say, Shanks already knows the true history. Shanks knows everything. Shanks is the key to the end of series arc, because if and when Shanks' demise happens at the hands of Blackbeard, because I predict Blackbeard will beat Shanks, that's when all the balance that Shanks had been preserving will start to crumble down. Maybe Shanks will let somebody know, hey, this is where the final world poneglyph is. Maybe Blackbeard will get it out of him. One way or another, when Shanks goes down, the world will fall. And that's the reason why the Gorosei are letting him roam free. That's why he has an audience with the Gorosei. That's why Sengoku respects him, because Sengoku would know these things as a fleet admiral. So Shanks is the key to all of this. Shanks wants the world to be at least as peaceful as possible. Otherwise, he wouldn't have intervened at Marineford. Otherwise, he wouldn't have stopped Kaido. Otherwise, he wouldn't have risked his life to go on the Whitebeard ship and challenge him, because they had a Conqueror's Haki clash. That was a very aggressive meeting. Shanks, don't forget, if Luffy is fated to have this Gomu Gomu no Mi, why do you think Shanks gave him the Straw Hat? The Straw Hat that's tied to Joy Boy, by the way. The Straw Hat that's tied to Roger. Shanks gave him the Straw Hat, told me, give it back to me when you become a great pirate. Shanks pushed Luffy into this journey. Shanks doesn't do things for willy-nilly reasons. Everyone wonders, why is he the one that you entrusted your arm to? Why would Shanks sacrifice his arm for Luffy? And this is after he ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, by the way. Why would Shanks do that? Shanks knows the true history. Shanks is the pillar that's keeping this world from going into utter chaos. The Gorosei know it, Sengoku know it, and he knows that Luffy is special. He knows that the Gomu Gomu no Mi is special, and that's why it was in his hands in the first place. That's why Luffy ate it. That's why he gave Luffy the Straw Hat. And now once Shanks goes out, that's when end of series, that's when the clocks are gonna start ticking. That's when things are gonna get dangerous. That's when Raftel's coming up. That's what I'm telling you. Just wait. Just wait till Shanks' demise, because Shanks is not surviving to the end of the series. It's not happening. We're gonna learn everything we're gonna need to learn from Shanks, his inevitable demise, or an info dump from Shanks itself. So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be great. So that's my thoughts on Shanks. And the reason I wanted to hold off on talking about Shanks is because Shanks is just, he's always present when you need it. He's always present. He's always there at the right time. Shanks knows everything. I'm telling you, Shanks knows everything. Shanks knows everything, guys. I'm telling you, he knows everything. There's no way he doesn't. He's too mysterious. He's not a villain. He's an agent of balance and order. That's what Shanks' role is. That's what his role has always been, an agent of order. And that can be, sometimes you may step into the you might step into the dirt, sometimes you might step into the flowers. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes maybe shit. But Shanks is not evil. Shanks cares about the fate of the world, and he cares about balance. I refuse to believe evil Shanks is a thing. He stopped the whole war. Shanks is going to be involved in the next arc. There's no way. Now, this is something I left out of the video. Something I left out of the topic. But what if this is something that I left out because I don't have enough credibility to put that in a video. What if Shanks was still in that meeting with the Gorosei and Wapol eavesdropped on that conversation about where the road poneglyph is and that it's on Elbaf? And remember when he called Big News Morgans and said, hey, bro, I got a secret for you. Big News was like, oh, hell, oh, okay. I'm going to tell the streets. So he told the streets. It was in the article. And guess who read that article? Blackbeard. And what if Blackbeard was like, ooh, road poneglyph? Let's get there before the government finds it. So he runs all the way over to Elbaf. Shanks is like, he says the article, oh, no. He runs all the way to Elbaf. Blackbeard versus Shanks at Elbaf for the road poneglyph. Blackbeard takes the road poneglyph. Luffy has to go fight Blackbeard for the final poneglyph. And that's how they confront each other. Because we don't know what Wapol said. We still don't know what Wapol said. And Shanks was in that room when Sabo and all of them infiltrated. He was still there. We didn't hear the conversation. We know Wapol's sneaky. You know he had a secret. What if that's the secret? What if he didn't even say it's a road poneglyph? What if Wapol doesn't even know what it is? He probably just said, poneglyph, road, what is that? Oh, well, I feel like this is good information. That's something Wapol would do. It's definitely something Wapol would do. I'm telling you. I think it might be happening. You know what? I feel like I should have included that in the video. Now that I say it, I probably should have included that in the video, but it's too late now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're here now. We're already here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But, you know, that's the thing. The beauty of it is, and this is the beauty of One Piece, right? The beauty of One Piece is that just one mention of the Gomu Gomu no Mi at the end of this chapter has made us put our tinfoil hats on to a level where we're predicting end of series stuff based on just one reveal, because that one reveal makes us look at so many different events in the story and think, Shanks did steal that. The world government was guarding it. It was CP9. Oh, wow. Huh. How am I wearing this in that weather? Because I'm insane and I like to please you guys. I want to dress to impress. That's why. I'm just insane. That's the only validation I have. You can clearly see the sweat. You can see it. But I would probably say the sweat is actually coming from this light dropping on my head. That's probably where the sweat is coming from. But I'm here. I do this for y'all. I suffer for y'all. I suffer. Wapol eavesdropping on the top 10 strongest characters without getting seen. Wapol is Yonko level. Mandy, settle down. That ain't pleasing or impressing. Take it off, nigga. Shut up, Rick. Let me do what I want, okay? Sometimes I just like to look good. Is there a problem, huh? I feel like black men should definitely dress to impress. I hate you niggas. Oh, Jesus. How would you feel about the Queen? About Queen being an Okama and using Okama? Wait. Kenpo with his bout against Sanji? That'd be interesting. Yes. Where's my partially thingy? Whatever. We're almost done. We're almost at an hour. We have one more topic, so I'll survive. I like giving the pastorally effect. Matter of fact, you know what? I want y'all to tell King of Lightning, since I sweat so much in my streams, I want a Tao Sama for myself. I would like an official King of Lightning Tao Sama. I demand it. I beg for it. I want it. I need it. He not the only black man sweating here on Twitch. This is Preacher J, the Preacher Towel. Well, not a used towel. You need to settle down. That's aggressive. That's some Maki Mustang level stuff. We don't go there. We don't have to go there. Jay Bacon like how Yoruichi being packed yesterday. Yeah, that Yoruichi packing was very, very upsetting. Man, disgusting. I'm screaming. Well played, Jacko. Well played. All right, so the Belgium and Portugal game is coming up in a few minutes, so we got to wrap this up because I want to watch that. So does anyone else have any more questions before I get to the last topic? You know, Blurred, is very interesting that you asked that. Are you honestly happy with Sanji fighting and Sanji? And how do you feel about Sanji and Zoro tag team? You see, guys, so Side Mail and Blurred, my next topic is literally encompassing both of those. Make a video on Kaido at Marineford? I will eventually. Don't worry. I actually, it's tough because I want Portugal. I mean, I like Jota. I don't really care about Ronaldo. Here, you know what? No, I want Belgium. I want Belgium to win. There you go. Did you hear about the theory that Who's dad was on Spandam's squad? I can see that. But that's the common theory. That's the common theory, Dome, is that Blackbeard is actually going to find Pluton, which is the common theory. I'll just throw out the other one. So is there a possibility Joy Boy is a title for which there are multiple candidates for each generation? Yes. I agree with you completely, Dwayne. That's actually what I think. I think Joy Boy is a title, and I think there's multiple people that can qualify for it. I think so. If you look at the panel where you can see the CP0 agent, there's a question mark above his ear, assuming that he has a crazy observation hockey, therefore he knows the situation on the battlefield. It's possible. It's possible. Very, very possible. I think Blackbeard is in Whole Cake Island taking advantage of Big Mom not being there. But Blackbeard said he wanted to get there before the government did. So I don't know what the government would want from Whole Cake unless it's world, world poneglyphs since Big Mom's out there. I don't know. So this next topic is going to be fun. Shout out to Mandy with a gifted sub. Bless up. This next topic is going to be very interesting and probably controversial because of the title. Do you remember what Dofi needed Law's fruit for? Maybe Luffy's fruit is needed for the same thing. Maybe your body has to be immortal and almost durable to get it. It's possible. It's a little stretch, but it's possible. It's possible. Do you think Who's Who could be a Blackbeard spy? I do not. I just don't believe it. Timelines don't really match up for me. Why would he be under Kaido? I don't know. Unless he's tasked with stealing a devil fruit, maybe. But he wants to fight King. So I don't know what him fighting King has to do with Blackbeard, so I'm not certain. Who do you think Shanks inside man is in the world government? I don't think Shanks has an inside man. I don't think he needs one. Do I like the super drug healing thing? I mean, it's a way to get it happen. As long as it's not Urza Scarlet, I'm okay. That's what I said before. I'm not a fan of it, but it is what it is, and to me, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I just don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't matter. Zoro's going to fight again. It is what it is. If you want to cry about it, you can, but it's not changing anything. Zoro's fighting again. So the faster we accept it, the better we are. Do I think Blackbeard is Zebek's son? I still think it's a chance it's Zebek's son. I think it's a high likelihood that it is Zebek's son. But I did a video on Blackbeard's relation to Zebek, where it's titled Shanks Knows the World's Biggest Secret. So just check that video out and you'll know what I think. All right. Whew! Final topic. Oh my goodness. Let's get to that. So I know this might sound crazy, as you've read from the title, but I actually think Sanji might be Oda's favorite Straw Hat. Now, I know what you're saying, Jay, after everything that you said, all the rage, disappointment, after your collab with O'Hara, how could you say such a thing now? Now, this is one thing I like to mention every single time. With new information, you have the right to change your opinion. Now, let's use an analogy here. Everybody has that one friend, or you could be that friend, that gets teased by their friend group, and they enjoy teasing you. It's more of a joke. You may have something that's quirky about you they like to poke fun at, but at the end of the day, it's all love, and your friend group is tightly knit, and that's it. That's just your role in the friend group, is you'll occasionally get teased. People will kind of play pranks on you, but at the end of the day, when it matters the most, they'll stand up for you, they'll protect you. If somebody else outside of the friend group tries to tease you in the same way, they're probably getting folded. And sometimes that's it. I've been that friend before. We've all had that role in our life before. That's how it works. You may not like it, but it happens. But it is out of love. And I think Sanji's the same way with Oda. Now, this is one thing that I've noticed. Out of all the Straw Hats, Sanji is the most versatile Straw Hat we have on the crew. And you'll say, what do you mean by versatile? Now think about the roles that Sanji can fulfill. Sanji doesn't have to be Zoro. He doesn't need to be Zoro, and Sanji, he doesn't want him to be Zoro because Zoro has one specific role in the crew. It's to be a fighter. That's it. Zoro will always be synonymous with action scenes, fighting scenes, strong presence, and obviously being the first mate of the crew. But Sanji is a little different. Sanji's a chef, but he's also part of the Monster Trio. Sanji plays the role as a caretaker. He took care of Luffy when he was hungry. He took care of Gin when he was hungry. He saved Tashigi. He took care of Viola. He saves people all the time. He saved Momonosuke and Wano. He's always coming up at an opportune time because that's a role that Sanji has in many previous arcs. If you look at Sanji as a leader, Sanji has taken the role of leadership in many times in Dressrosa, where he called Luffy and said, hey, Big Mom ship is here, bro. What do we do? Do I have a right to engage? Luffy's like, go ahead, bro. Sanji led the crew. If we go to Punk Hazard, Sanji saved the G5? The G5 Marines and Tashigi and said, yo, get out of here. I got it. Leadership roles. Again, Sanji in Enies Lobby. He saved Usopp from Jabra. Then he told Usopp, you have a role to play. There's something you can do that I can't. Go do your job, King. He also plays the role as a tactician. Mr. Prince. The espionage feats. Skypiea. Destroying the Arc Maximum for a little bit of time so Nami and Usopp could escape. Halting Eno's progress. The leadership role that he took in Zou, where Luffy wasn't there, and they ran into Capone. Sanji took it upon himself to rescue the crew so we could go on to Whole Cake Island. Sanji takes many different roles. Not to mention, he also has the role as the third strongest on the crew. Yes, you'll say Jinbei, Yamato, whatever, I don't care. For the sake of the video, Monster Trio, third strongest. Sanji has a role as a fighter and as a combatant and as an officer. So, Oda, the way he's used Sanji, again, more versatile than everybody on the crew. Sanji's roles that he plays is all dependent on what Oda wants to do. So he picks on him all the time. He makes a gag out of him that's probably the most annoying out of all the cruise ship. And it's probably the most highlighted and probably the most used out of everyone on the crew. Then you think about all the roles that Oda would use Sanji for and think, wow, Oda really uses Sanji a lot in many different ways. Wow. He doesn't do that with everyone else. Everyone has their own specific role. Sanji's a chef, but he's so much more than a chef within the Straw Hats. Not to mention the emotional ties in his character. Sanji has a range of emotions. Remember when Sanji lashed out at Jinbei for apologizing to Nami? That wasn't Sanji's place. Why would Sanji do that? That's one of Sanji's worst moments ever. Why? Irrational. Human. Then there's times where Usopp and Nami, or where Usopp and Luffy were fighting. Sanji backed Zoro up. Yeah, Luffy, you can't be doing that. What are you talking about? Zoro's right. Sanji fought Luffy just to make him go away because he knew he needed to sacrifice himself for Luffy because Big Mom wouldn't let them go. Irrational decisions, emotional behavior. Sanji has range. And then there's moments where Sanji is cool, very calm, very decisive. Remember in Alabasta, remember the speech he had to Chopper? I have this role for you. I need you to do this. Within the midst of chaos where Crocodile's running rampant, Sanji's telling Chopper, I need you to do this. In Wano, Chopper's crying, screaming, oh, Luffy, Luffy. Sanji's like, Chopper, settle down. How many miracles do you need to see before you start believing? Sanji's versatility is immense. Now, I'm going to tie this into Wano. The reason I'm saying that Sanji might be Oda's favorite Straw Hat is because look what's happening with him and Queen right now. The usage of the word judge's son, judge's son, judge's son. The moment Queen found out that he was a Vinsmoke, all of a sudden now we're getting more exposés on, what was it called? Oh, that's right, Mads. Mads. So Mads is the new thing. Judge's scientist group. Sanji knows about Mads. But you know who else is in Mads? We have Queen. We have Caesar Clown. We have Judge. Oh wait. We have Vegapunk. Oh, Vegapunk. Interesting. So based on this research, based on Sanji being a Vinsmoke, based on Oda's usage of Sanji, we may get an expose to not only what was going on with Mads, what might be going on with the lineage factor, but also Vegapunk. Vegapunk information. We might get a Vegapunk flashback. because of the way Oda has written Sanji into this story and the fact that Sanji is a Vinsmoke. Now he's interacting with Queen. What if we see Vegapunk and Wano and he sees Sanji and finds out, oh, you're a Vinsmoke. Oh, I know, Judge. Yeah, he was kind of crazy. Sanji's like, oh, Sanji would be combative. He wouldn't engage. He wouldn't ask Vegapunk about his backstory with he wouldn't ask Vegapunk about his backstory with Judge. He wouldn't do that. But Oda would use that for Vegapunk to possibly go on a monologue, probably talk about lineage factors. What if Vegapunk saw Sanji use Diable Jambe and Vegapunk could explain why Sanji's feet can turn on fire? What if that has something to do with the lineage factor? There's a reason why the race suit can only fit Sanji and other Vinsmokes. I think lineage factor has something to do with it. I think Sanji might be tied to a lineage factor. And I also think that Sanji's relationship with Judge and with Queen and with the fact that he might be tied to Mads, Sanji's being used as a plot point for Mads at this point. The more we learn about Mads, it'll be because of Sanji. Oda is tying Sanji to plot points within the story that will carry on later on and give us info dumps. Why does Sanji seem to be used in so many different ways by Oda if he hates Sanji? And that's something I've been saying, oh, Oda hates Sanji, he bullies Sanji. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still not a fan of the gags. I understand that. But what I can say is that I have more appreciation for the uses of Sanji, the differences in Sanji, the way Oda likes to move Sanji around like a chess piece. He's like a knight on a chess table. Unique movements. So when I say Sanji is Oda's favorite Straw Hat, Sanji is Oda's favorite Straw Hat to use in many different circumstances. And one thing that you've noticed with your favorite, you always find a way to include them in whatever it is you're doing. And Sanji just somehow happens to be at the crux of everything, whether it's a troll moment, whether it's the Black Maria, whether it's the Robin moment, Momo being saved, raid suit, Sanji's always there. So for me, I think we're about to get Sanji's greatest fight. I think we're about to see the raid suit in its full entirety. I think we're about to get a lot of Mads flashbacks, Judge flashbacks, Vinsmoke flashbacks, lineage factor reveals, Vegapunk information just from this Queen versus Sanji fight. And I don't think it's by accident. I think Oda just likes using Sanji in ways that would eventually please us, but sometimes will piss us off. But that's what friends are. Friends are people that we love seeing, we love interacting with, but at the same time, they can piss us off. And I think that's how Oda sees Sanji. So maybe I should probably stop giving Sanji such a hard time. I could try. All right. So you said, okay, so we're done. Jay, can I stop you for a quick second? Can you explain to all of those who don't know what Mads is? So Mads is the science group. Mads is the science group that Judge, Caesar, Vegapunk, and Queen were a part of. The old research group, the whole lineage factor group, the whole human experimentation, probably what happened with Kaido, they were all together. They were all a part of it. That's all a part of it. So I'm sorry I couldn't stop, because at the end of the day, I do this so like I present to you guys and then we discuss afterwards. So I guess you're new here, but this is what we do a lot. But yes. Maybe he was in a failure experiment. Probably the whole body modification thing was a whole experiment from Mads, and then he used his own kids as a test subject. So that might be the case. Everything you said was on point. There's always information dumps on Sanji's conversation. Yeah. Oda likes to use Sanji in very unique and interesting ways, which I'm a big fan of. I really am a big fan of. Speaking of Mads, what do you think happened to Judge and Germa at the end of the Whole Cake Island? If Vegapunk is going to be introduced soon, Germa might have an important role. I think Germa escaped. I think they escaped. They have the technology to do so. They probably did something very unique and just, got out of there. So I actually do think Vegapunk is a revolutionary as well. I think it's a very good theory. Shout out to Senpai Boogie Boyle with the tier 1 subscription. God bless you. So I'm very excited for the Vegapunk information because we're going to learn a lot about Devil Fruits. I'm actually hoping that lineage factor is tied to the unique traits of Sanji's fire. I'm hoping that now because lineage factor seems to be the key to almost everything at this point. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen here. I'm very intrigued. I generally think the name dropping of Mads is so important. It's so important. Sanji's fight with Queen is going to be a lot more than we think it's going to be. And I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it. And the fight itself, we've never seen Sanji fight such a big and large opponent before. So we're going to see the power of Sanji at full scale. Think about that. And he's fighting a Zoan. So we're finally going to get this whole myth that Sanji doesn't have the requisite power to beat strong opponents. We're going to see it now. We're going to see that the raid suit is an incredible buff. It will be. Shout out to Captain Kidd for continuing his Prime subscription, by the way. You think Sanji's lineage factor was successfully tampered with? He's just too strong for the experiments? I agree with that. Do you think Sanji will ever be in good terms with Droma? Absolutely not. And I hope he wouldn't be. Same. Queen's reaction to the raid suit will also probably bring up more information like, whoa, what the hell is that? So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. We do want to see what Marco's doing as well. We do. It's crazy. Listen, man. You said it sounds like a gymnast. I'm screaming. J.D. Kellerman. Y'all so disrespectful. Listen, bro. I think Sanji might be Oda's favorite Straw Hat. I'm going with that agenda, and that it is what it is, bro. It's ironic. When I talk positive about Sanji, all of a sudden I'm a fraud. Here we go. If Sanji beats Queen with no raid suit, he's Admiral level. I said it. If Sanji beats Queen with no raid suit, he's Admiral level. What if Roger's sword gets revealed to be Griffin? If it does, that would be crazy. Usopp is Oda's favorite? I actually disagree. He said chill. That's aggressive. Listen. What am I known for? You know my takes are genuine because I'm not afraid to be aggressive. I need you to understand that. People can lie. They can pick the safe answer. You know I don't pick safe answers. Safe answers is not in my DNA. I'm not a safe nigga. I'm dangerous. I'll say what I say. And you know it. And that's me. If Sanji beats Queen without the raid suit, he's Admiral level. Admiral level. I'm saying it now. Usopp had an observation feat this chapter? Where? That's what I'm saying. It's fair. It's just fair. He said, how do I take my sub back? Oh, Rick. Rick be hurting me, bro. Rick be wounding a nigga. What's in that cup? Water, sir. Water. All right, but I'm tired. I'm sweating. At this point, I'm sweating. So we're going to have to end this show. It was a great show. Great conversations, great topics, great theories. I appreciate you guys. Next week, Saturday, next week, our special guest will be Brother Brago, BDA Law. I don't know which one. I don't know if Brago Diaz will show up or BDA Law, but we're going to have to see. But either way, we're having the great black man in all his glory joining us on the next stream. So I'm very excited for that. We're going to have some very interesting topics. So definitely you don't want to miss that. Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern is the time I have blocked. So guys, we're going to have a lot of fun time. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to have a good time. Is it going to be toxic? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. You know, we'll see. What's the difference between BDA Law and Brago? Who knows? Is BDA also in a Mugen stream? We'll see. Brago's a busy man. So I doubt that he'll probably have time for it. But we'll probably do the next Tournament of Power on Sunday instead of Saturday. We'll probably do that to accommodate the JD Legend show on Saturday. No, they're not split personality. It's a joke. It's still Brago. But we just like to make jokes about it. It's like me. It's like JD Legend in my videos, and then with the little ending I have, you get corporate JD. That's how it is. That's how it is. All right, but everyone, thank you so much. I love you all as always. I'll catch you on the next episode of the JD Legend Show. These videos will be chopped up, so you'll see them on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Love you guys too.